All right, I opened the internet, today, and the only thing I was seeing online was Nnamdi Kanu this, Nnamdi Kanu that. The world is now celebrating Nnamdi Kanu. In fact, Nigeria is now celebrating Nnamdi Kanu. People are now going further back to analyze most of the prophecies he said. When Nnamdi Kanu started, when he was drawing the ears of the zoo, opening their eyes to the plans of this Fulani, they thought he was just speaking gibberish. Now, I want you to relax as a Biafran because you should be proud of Nnamdi Kanu. Enjoy yourself. Carry your popcorn, carry your Coca-Cola. Let me play you voices upon voices upon voices upon reactions, that people have been saying on Nnamdi Kanu while we analyze. But meanwhile, a very important one, which I'll be starting with, is that the United Kingdom Parliament have started talking concerning Nnamdi Kanu. I want you to hear this.
Mr. Nnamdi Kanu, a British citizen, was abducted by Nigerian security forces in Nairobi, Kenya. Since his detention, he has been subjected to torture and many other unpleasantries. A United Nations Rights Council report released a damning assessment of Nigeria's government's treatment and called for his immediate release. My right honourable friend from Camberwell and Peckham has worked tirelessly on behalf of Mr. Kanu and is urging the Foreign Secretary to do more to secure his release. Nigeria is a Commonwealth nation that receives tens of millions in UK aid. It is one of the biggest benefactors of aid. Part of this aid support must be a commitment to human rights and upholding the right to fair trials. Mr. Kanu must be given access to a fair and due process. A British citizen travelling on the British passport should not be kidnapped in a third country and dragged to a Nigerian prison. The government needs to get much tougher.
Now, we decided to start with this because this is the United Kingdom Parliament. Should I use Parliament? Speaking on Nnamdi Kanu. And the reality is that, whether the world likes it or not, whether the United Kingdom likes it or not, it is high time that they get tougher on the issue of Nnamdi Kanu. Now, my happiness, in this is that the issue of Nnamdi Kanu have turned to a political issue. It is a pure political issue that has actually opened a lot of eyes, and it has also put a lot of ears down because people really want to know about Nnamdi Kanu. People really want to know. So forget about the fact that the United Kingdom, in their normal way, because Nigeria is their infant, their baby that they suck from, their baby that works for them. Do not forget that the UK, what they are known, is basking or, eating on other people's resources. That is what the UK is known for. And it has been working perfectly for them. They've enriched themselves, in eating the resources of Africans, which has been working for them. So whether the UK likes it or not, there are still people in the parliament that is coming up to speak out the truth and, that are speaking to the world. Let the world know that this man has been illegally, when I mean illegally, he has been illegally, detained. Not just illegally detained, he was adopted, he was kidnapped. He was kidnapped. Let us not forget that Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped. So that is that on the issue of, the British. Now, let us bring it down to the zoo. Because most of these people that are now calling out, in fact, there are so many videos online. Nnamdi Kanu has been trending. That is why he was confident enough to say, in fact, Nnamdi Kanu should be celebrated both in Biafran land. There should be a day, a special, apart from the Monday sit at home, there should be a special day, being given to Nnamdi Kanu to celebrate him. because this man finally he has been able to in fact, to bring the world, to bring his own attention to the world. Now the zoo are now saying, oh, this man said it, oh, this man said it, oh, the man that saw the future, oh, the man that did this, oh, the man that did that. But it is too late, because what he has been saying, what he even planned ahead, is now happening. Nnamdi Kanu is a prophet, and is a prophet that consecrates himself. Have you heard Nnamdi Kanu prayed? A man that consecrates himself, what do you expect from such man? What do you expect from such man? You see, today, why I've been seeing the reactions and videos online, I just dey laugh. It dey sweet my belly. Like, I'm just so happy, because Ohamadike finally has brought the attention of himself, the attention of the world to himself. Now the world is ready to listen to Nnamdi Kanu. The zoo are now ready to listen to Nnamdi Kanu, and it is going to be a revolution if Nnamdi Kanu is not released this April. It's not even about Biafra. Biafrans will not even talk much. Even the zoo, the youth are ready to hit the street of Abuja to make sure that this man is released. Indirectly, other part of the zoo are now fighting for Biafra. But let me stop here while I play, these reactions from different people in the zoo.
Nigeria is on the brink of collapse. That is where we are. The country is dwindling, and it would have been better to say it is top to bottom, but now we are going beneath the bottom. Some of us are going to the grave. Many people have gone to the grave, and some people are going to the grave. Nigerians are suffering. Some people cannot go on 3 square meals. Some people go on 0, 0, 0 in Nigeria today because they have nothing. You go to the farm, the bandits will attack you. The Fulani bandits, when you call them, they are not happy. But these Fulani bandits that have brought this thing. So it's a problem. And this government is not prepared. How do you cage Nnamdi Kanu? In fact, I want to call that Nnamdi Kanu should be released. A freedom fight agitator who said that, look, he wants liberation for his people. Why are you incarcerating him? Why are you not going to arrest Fulani men? And then you want me to keep quiet. They want to intimidate us. I will never be intimidated. At least let me talk. If at the end nothing happens, and some of you are keeping quiet, keep quiet to your shame. But I want to say that the rest of Nigerians, you people are joking. Know that
because that man you are calling Afonja, you are calling Ifajuna is an Igbo man. No. Ifajuna is a rejected name that nobody will give birth tomorrow or today and give that name Ifajuna. It's a rejected name in Biafra land, in Igbo land as a whole, or in Biafra land as a whole. Yes, in the entire Biafra territory, that name Ifajuna is rejected. Nobody will give birth and name that child Ifajuna in the entire Biafra land, because of the role of that man that bore that name called Ifajuna. The same way we refer this type of people from Yoruba land as Afonja, that does not mean that we are calling the entire Yoruba as Afonja. No. Because we know what Afonja stands for, or what he stood for when he was here. We know what he did to his own people that cost them a Lorraine today, the present day Kwara State. It was because of Ifajuna's, not Ifajuna, Afonja's, greediness and sabotage that the Yoruba tribe lost a Lorraine today in the hands of the Fulani. Today, you have Emir of a Lorraine. Emir of a Lorraine, a Fulani man. Even the present-day governor of Ilorin is a Fulani man. Yoruba man does not have the capacity to govern Ilorin, not Ilorin, Kwara State. Kwara State. Because of the treasury of Afonja. Because of the treasury of Afonja. And let me tell you, in Yoruba land today, the likes of this Afonja are too many. Too many in Yoruba land. They have a lot to deal with. By the time they begin to be serious with their freedom, they have so much to deal with. Our own will be child's play to what Yoruba people, upcoming freedom fighters will deal with. I'm telling you the truth. I am seriously telling you the truth. The only lucky there will be is if, as Biafra has left the zoo, and the zoo finally break into pieces. Everybody will say, okay, since these people have left, we are no longer interested. Everybody will go into the entity will be completely balkanized. That is going to be the only chance the Yoruba people will have in order to curtail with Afonja in their midst. If not, the day they will go into the struggle on a serious note, the way we are fighting now seriously for our freedom, I want to tell you, Biafra saboteurs and the Fajunas in Biafra land will be child's play to compare with what the Yoruba upcoming freedom fighters are going to see. I'm telling you, because Afonjas in Yoruba land is too many. They are many. They are legion. And this idiot on your screen is one of them. Let us listen to him.
At best is a pawn. At best is being used and doesn't even understand it. He doesn't strike me as a particularly bright person. I actually think Nnamdi Kanu is a much more dangerous political secessionist than Simon Ekpa.
Let us listen to that again. Can you hear him? Dear friends, let me know in the comment section if you can hear the idiot properly. Tell me in the comment section if you can hear him. Before we proceed, let me know if you can hear him properly, please.
At best is a pawn. At best is being used and doesn't even understand it. He doesn't strike.
Now, from the beginning, he said, Simon Ekpa, I think he's a con. I think he's a con. The same word they used on Nnamdi Kanu, that Nnamdi Kanu is a con man, right? Including Asari Tokumbo also used that same word on Nnamdi Kanu. He called him a con man. This idiot now is calling the prime minister a con man, and there is something else he said, that he think he's being used. The idiot said, and I think he's being used. This interview is very, 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 very okay. That's why I'm talking about it today. He said, and I think he's being used. And then he said something about Nnamdi Kanu. Let us listen to him, my people.
At best is a pawn. At best is being.
Simon Ekpa at best is a con. At he's being used. Let us hear him. He called him a con man. The same thing they called Nnamdi Kanu. And I want to ask, well, I'm going to ask that question in a jiffy.
At best is a pawn. At best is being used and doesn't even understand it. He doesn't strike me as a particularly bright person. I actually think Nnamdi Kanu is a much more dangerous political secessionist than Simon Ekpa.
Can we see any video or tweet made by this criminal? Do you know what they say he is? They say he is the founder of West Africa Weekly. founder of West Africa Weekly in Nigeria. This is an avenue of stealing. Anybody you see fighting against the dissolution of the zoo is a criminal. Anybody you see fighting against the dissolution of the zoo is a criminal. Because they cannot fold their arms and watch you destroy the criminal entity that has given them enabling environment to commit criminal activities. This useless name, they say he is the founder that they call West Africa Weekly, is an avenue of him to steal money. Let me remove the title so you can see it properly. You see that? It's an avenue of stealing money in Nigeria. Look at it here. Founder, West Africa Weekly. The same way they find something, they form something. Some of them, they call it NGO. Some of them, they call it they give you one name or the other, company or whatsoever, including news agency or whatever, online platform or whatever, in order to use it to steal in Nigeria. Because Nigeria, as a name, as an entity, as a whatever organization or whatever you may call it, represent criminality. I said represent criminality. That's why once you become one of them, once you have created your own perfect avenue to loot, to burn, to steal, to rob. Whenever anybody is talking about the disintegration of the zoo, you become the number one enemy of that enemy. That person becomes your number one enemy. And this idiot here, this Afonja, is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Let's continue.
So I wouldn't worry about him. What I'll be worried about is that the funding pipeline.
Sorry, he said he considers Nnamdi Kanu as a more dangerous freedom fighter than Mazi Samanekpa. So, Mr. Man, what did you say? What did you do? What were you tweeting about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu when he was here with us? Can somebody help me to show me? Because I don't know this man before. Actually, the first time I heard about this man was the time our prime minister tweeted him on his official X page. That was the first ever time I knew anything about this idiot.
Worried about him. What I'll be worried about is that the funding pipeline that has somehow very curiously managed to shower Simon Ekpa and his people with hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars at the very.
You see propaganda. Mad people everywhere. Can you see the way they roll? That the oil pipeline being used to shower Simon Ekpa, according to him, millions of dollars. So, do you have any evidence of what you are saying? You see the way they roll. They have no integrity. They have no conscience. You called yourself an educated man, intellectual. That is the reason why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu look at the people like this and call them intellectuals. Do you have any evidence, substantial evidence, to prove your allegation or claim against Mazi Samanekpa? Do you have any substantial evidence or credible information to prove your case? The answer is no. But you are here you are on social media, ranting like a madman because you have no brain. your education is completely useless. They have left you behind.
Pipeline that has somehow very curiously managed to shower Simon Ekpa and his people with hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars. I'd be very interested in knowing where that funding is coming from. Because
anyị etigo fa mgbada nwụrụ anwụ n'isi. Anyị etigo fa mgbada nwụrụ anwụ n'isi. He said he would be very curious. He would be very curious. Let me play that again. Anyị etigo fa mgbada nwụrụ anwụ n'isi. Everybody is crying now.
Millions of dollars. I'd be very interested in knowing where that funding is coming from.
He wants to know where the fund is coming from. And in the same interview, in the same video, in the same flipping video, this man, just a couple of seconds ago, not even up to 10 seconds, said it was oil money, the pipeline money that was given or that has been used to shower Simon Ekpa thousands or millions of dollars. In the same video, he said he would like to know where the money that we are using to sponsor our Freedom March is coming from. And he just alleged a couple of seconds ago that it was pipeline oil money. This is how to show you how confused they are. They are extremely confused. These people you see claiming to be educated are nothing but idiots and intellectuals. They know nothing. Their education is nothing but a shame. Shame.
Because even if Simon Ekpa disappears off the face of the planet tomorrow, that funding is still there. And it's going to find someone else and anoint that person as and that person might be a more dangerous person. So I think
so, and that person might be more dangerous person. Oh, you know it. You have such idea. I didn't know. You didn't think about this. So you never thought of it all this while. Now matching on social media. Now matching, you never thought of it. And now, after our Prime Minister granted interview to Rudolph, Dr. Damages, a machapota, Kodikage, who has nothing to offer. After the Prime Minister offered an interview to Rudolph, today, boom, you are here. Kafogo, you want us to analyze you. I am analyzing you. I'm helping you to show you to Biafrans for them to see how idiotic you are. For them to see how deluded you are. I'm helping you to make you go viral. At least by the end of the day, the time right now is 23 minutes past 11 p.m. By this time tomorrow, when you come here, you will see how many people must have seen you, even far from what had already seen you from Rudolph. Yes, so I'm helping you, not on your favor, but to help you show your idiocy and stupidity in the public, because you have no brain.
Therefore, there are foreign entities that are actively seeking to instigate crises that would lead to not just the disintegration of Nigeria, but the violent disintegration of Nigeria. I think there are people who are actively working toward that.
Oh, so you know, I love that. I love that you know. I am very happy that you know. So he said that not even the disintegration of the zoo, but violent disintegration of the zoological republic. That is his fear. But he has no levels, he has no balls to confront the executive, to confront the government, the terrorist government of the zoo, to tell them, look, where this thing is going, it may lead to the violence, disintegration of the Zoological Republic. You better call everybody right now. Let them sit down now and discuss their exit peacefully. You cannot do that because you lack the balls. You don't have the balls to stand as a man to do the necessary, to do the needful, to speak to the so-called powers that be.
As I've said multiple times, even though personally I would very much prefer for Nigeria to remain one country, I think it's in Africa's best interest for Africa to have powerful, geographically large nation states. I think.
And you believe he's going to be Nigeria? Mumu never do. Idiot. Conta panels. Our Mumu never do. Yeah, Mumu can never do. In as much as you are fighting for the continuation of a terrorist organization, of a terrorist entity like the zoo, your Mumu can never do. It is impossible for your Mumu to do. I'm telling you.
I think that's what's in Africa's best interest. However, if Nigeria.
Who told you that is an African's best interest? Everywhere you go in Africa today, they call Nigeria for evil. In case you don't know, you say even it is in the best interest of Africa to have one almighty zoological republic. It is a lie. It's a lie. Anywhere you go in Africa today, everybody is talking ill about the Nigerian people or Nigerian state. Everywhere you go in the entire Africa, not even only in Africa, all over the world, nobody wants to hear the name Zoological Republic. Apart from other African countries' women, other women from other African countries. And to make the matter worse, when they hear Nigerian men, they don't even know that these people they are calling Nigerian men in their various countries, who they love so much, are actually Biafran people. I'm telling you. Because we who are the most traveled? Who are the most traveled? When you see the ladies from other African countries, dying for the so-called Nigerian men, look at them very well. Look at them very, very well. 90% of them are Biafrans. Apart from the ladies from other African countries loving these so-called Nigerian men that happen to be Biafran men, tell me any other thing that they are proud of you for. Everywhere you go, they are hammering on Nigerian people. They want you to leave their country. They want you to be expelled. They arrest you anyhow. They even illegally imprison you or even deport you back to the Zoological Republic. Tell me who is, which African country is proud of Nigeria? Just one.
Nigeria were to break up because the people in Nigeria simply cannot find a way to get along and live together in any acceptable manner, then so be it. But the issue is not so much.
Did you see that? Let's hear him again.
To get along and live up states. I think that's what's in Africa's best interest. However, if Nigeria were to break up because the people in Nigeria simply cannot find a way to get along and live together in any acceptable manner, then.
Did you hear him? I want you to remember here because we are coming back here. Remember what he said here. We are coming back.
We simply cannot find a way to get along and live together in any acceptable manner, then so be it. But the issue is not so much the breakup. The issue is the manner of the breakup. I would hope that if a breakup happens, that it's a negotiated breakup. Something similar to the negotiations that led to the carving out of South Sudan,
Chai. Nah, what the go? We have a lot of fools in Nigeria here. We have a lot of idiots in Nigeria. Did you hear him? And this is the man they claim to be Leshua. Educated idiot, educated illiterate, educated moron, using South Sudan to give example the kind of breakup that he wants in the Zoological Republic, a negotiated breakup. And then he used South Sudan and Sudan to give instance. South Sudan fought for 30 years. So this is the David Hundeyin they usually talk about. Our PM usually posts his tweet on his official X account. Oh, this is that David. He has no brain. Let me take it back so it doesn't look as if I'm insulting him. Let me take it back.
I would hope that if a breakup happens, that it's a negotiated breakup. Something similar to the negotiations that led to the carving out of South Sudan, out of Sudan.
Can you imagine? Oh, didn't that come on a fan ekwu? Oh, to akafade. So this is how they reason. You are telling me you don't want a what do you call what did you call it? Violence breakup in Nigeria. But if Nigeria is to break up, let it be a negotiated breakup, just exactly what happened in Sudan that led to carving out of South Sudan. Like, seriously. So this is the David Hundeyin they usually talk about. Our PM usually posts his tweet, who has all of a sudden forgotten that South Sudan he's talking about fought for 30 good years with Sudan. Guerrilla warfare before Sudan finally said, no, this is too much. We can't continue allowing our soldiers to buy in South Sudan. And they came in roundtable discussion and allowed South Sudan's to go. Before even United Nations came in to conduct referendum. After 30 years of brutal guerrilla warfare. And somebody that called himself an educated man, I don't know if he's a journalist, social media journalist, or whatever he is. I don't even know. I told you the first time I heard about him was the time our prime minister was posting his tweet. I don't know any other thing about him. He's here. I want to see if Rudolph will even remind him or correct him that South Sudan you are talking about here fought for 30 good years. The history is there. Even in my own eyes, I was hearing and listening and watching South Sudan fighting for their independence. Not about the history anymore. I saw videos and pictures. I read the news of South Sudan fighting for their independence till just the other day. Let me see if Rudolph will correct him.
Even though, yes, there was a war that came before that, but I'm saying the actual negotiation itself, there was a process involving the UN and all whatnot.
Oh,
so if that were to happen,
okay, I'm beginning to understand him now. He said, even though there was a war that came before then, he also acknowledged here that even though there was a kind of war that came before then, so have you now forgotten that it was because of that war? That very war you are talking about is what led to the subsequent negotiation that led to the breakup of Sudan and gave birth to South Sudan. If there was no war that lasted for 30 years, do you think that Sudanese government would have called the leaders of South Sudan as at then on roundtable discussion and allowed them to go? Do you think such a thing would have happened? Do you think that United Nations would have come in and declare referendum for South Sudanese before they left?